Well, good morning, happy afternoon, wherever you are in this great nation of ours. Welcome to Mindset Mondays, brought to you by Contractor Plus, the only CRM you will ever need to grow your contracting business. I'm your host, Garrett Bake. Really excited about being with you guys today. I had a really interesting last couple of weeks, which I'll share with you. But I'll tell you something. I figured out how to go viral this weekend. And I say viral because the video that I posted has about 4 million views. Now, it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with contracting. It has nothing to do with the trades. But hey, it happened. But that's a story for a different time. The real thing that I wanted to share with you was the last couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks, I've spent a lot of time traveling. By the way, if you are here watching us live, go ahead and drop your name, drop your business name, where you're from, so we can give you a shout out. We got a couple of folks on already. Creative Remodeling and Plus. Good day to you, sir. We got Grupo Básico, the basic group from Texas. Bobby, great to have you. Diamond Factories, welcome as well to the show. Again, if you're here, go ahead and drop your name, drop your business, where you're from, and we'll give you a shout out. The last couple of weeks have been a lot of travel for me. I have been to 3 different states and run 4 different workshops. In other words, about half of my last 2 weeks have been spent running workshops. And these workshops weren't for anyone other than contractors. In fact, I'll show you the workbook that we were handing out to the participants here. Let me see if I can get in front of the camera, right? We've got the Contractor Quarterly Workshop. And it was really a powerful experience for me and really for the contractors in the room. All right, I'm going to pause for a second. We got a lot of folks jumping on. Good afternoon from Hot Atlanta. Boy, we got Trey Martin. Thank you for joining in. We've got Diamond Factories. We've got Stevie Donnie. Good morning from Austin, Texas. Juan Ayala with Northwestern Property Improvements. Johnny Walden, Frodo Services out of Jonesboro, Georgia. Juan looks like from the Florida Panhandle. Welcome, each and every one of you. Appreciate you guys being here. Again, if you're joining us late, go ahead and drop your name, your business name, where you're from, so we can give you a shout out. Now, again, 3 states, 4 different workshops in 2 weeks. And I spent I did 2 different workshops in Arizona. I did 1 in Salt Lake and 1 in Boise, Idaho. Total contractors that we worked with is probably over 100, if my math is right. So I've worked with 100 contractors in the last 2 weeks. Crazy, right? Crazy to think that there were that many contractors that we worked with. But here's the crazy part. The crazy part was not how many contractors we work with. The crazy part was an understanding of how little contractors really know how to run a business. Pause for dramatic effect. I love each and every one of you. I want you guys to succeed. But there's a difference between being a craftsman, being a tradesman, being somebody who's really good at getting something done and running a business. And it was driven home last Friday. Last Friday, I ran my last workshop in Salt Lake City. And there was a gentleman, I'll just refer to him by his first name, Tim, who joined the class. Tim runs an exterior business. And I think this year they're on pace for $16 million. Now, that's not the biggest, but it's definitely not the smallest. And afterwards, Tim and I sat in the room. Everyone had already left, and we talked about his success, right, and where he was at. And he said, you know, Garrett, the one thing that changed my business was when I quit treating it like a hobby. When I started making decisions not on how I felt, not on the weather, not on the political situation or climate, but just on the facts, the data. And he said, when I did that, my business completely changed. He said, in fact, I don't ever go to the office. I go to the office maybe once or twice a month. Now, I want you to think about that for a minute. Imagine running a business in a way that only required you to be in the office once or twice a month. What would that look like? What would that allow you to do? And Tim continued talking, right, about all the things he enjoys doing. He coaches football. He's got a son who's playing college football as well, and he's trying to, see what he can do to help him out. He's got a daughter that plays competitive softball. He's got all of these things happening in his life. In fact, he just got back from Africa doing some big game hunting. And he said, if you've never done it, don't do it. He goes, it's super expensive. But Here is a man who's living, as we all like to say, his best life. But he didn't do it out of chance. He didn't do it because he got lucky. He didn't do it because he just closed his eyes and worked harder, right? He started to get smart about the decisions that he was making in order to grow his business, right? And these decisions go across the board. And this morning, as I was thinking about this conversation, I wanted to share with you guys the biggest takeaways that I got working with 100 different contractors over the last 2 weeks. And hopefully there's something inside of here, a nugget or two, that'll help you start to see things differently. Now, I do have a question for those of you who are watching live or listening live. How many of you, if I asked you, can you pull up your P&L right now and tell me the current state of your business, how many of you guys would be able to do that? If you can, just go ahead and drop a comment in the chat. How many of you could tell me right now how much money you got in your bank account? How much is due next week? What your profitability is? How many of you guys could actually tell me that right now? And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and shout out the people who have joined us. We got Unique General Service, Creative Remodeling, and Plus. Also out of Atlanta, we got Steve and Todd. Steve at Fine Finish Paint and Trim in Jacksonville. CBM Property Repair. Loves the app as well. The Deck Doctor. Albert the Deck Doctor. Beautiful Steve and Todd. I think we already got you there, Steven. Yep. That was just a repeat. Prosperity Property Services says, I can. Diamond Factory says, I can. Oh, man, those are such empowering words, right? And for those of you that can't, again, I don't want you to feel bad, but I kind of do. I kind of want you to feel bad about this. I kind of want you to kind of sit there and be like, this is really uncomfortable because I don't know my numbers. Johnny, thank you for sharing. I'm certainly not there yet. Great, man. Deck Doctor, I can give you a close number, right? But it's not going to be accurate. By the way, I appreciate you guys commenting, okay? There's no wrong answer here. Steve, nope, just started January. CBM Property Repair. I can, but it's because we are small and trying to grow. There's no wrong answers here, okay? But I will tell you that the numbers are what will take you where you want to go. I was told this by a mentor of mine a few years ago. And he said, if you can remember this, he goes, everything in life will be easy for you. He goes, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, right? And think about that for a minute. I probably repeated it on the show before, but hell, I'll probably say it again. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. We always like to shave a little bit off the midsection, right? We always like to puff up the chest and pretend we got a little bit more muscle there, right? We always like to think that the hair isn't going away like mine is, right? We like to think that our wives love us a little bit more than they actually do, right? We're always kind of trying to hedge this, life isn't as bad as it is, or, maybe the situation is a little bit better. No, man, rip off the Band-Aid. Like, be real about this. By the way, thanks for that comment, Justin. Be real about this, man. Like, where is life at right now? Where is your business at right now? That's what allows you to make decisions. Okay. So I want to share with you guys what I shared with these contractors over this last couple of weeks. Okay. Here's the first thing. The first thing is, don't be setting goals or targets or whatever you want to call it 5 years and 10 years into the future. And I'm going to tell you why. Do you remember what happened 5 years ago? If you're counting, that would be 2019. Do you remember what you were doing in 2019? Some of you guys weren't in business. Some of you guys were, but you were smaller. Some of you guys were serving a different industry. Some of you guys were in business, but you still don't remember what happened 5 years ago. There's no point to setting a 5-year or a 10-year goal. We call that a pipe dream because that's what it is. Okay. If you were in business, do you remember the specifics of where your business was at? Right? Again, there'll always be a few of you that do. Congratulations. I hate you because I can't. But really what I want you to see is what matters. And especially with the speed at which things are changing nowadays, what matters more than anything is looking at things and taking them on a year at a time. A year, 12 months. January to December is the easiest way to do it. But hey, if we're in April now and you're going April to April, so be it. The point is, we need to make sure that we're tracking the information that matters and making the adjustments that we need to make. So the first thing, and this is the most important, set a clear target. Now, if you just want to do it between now and the end of the year, that's great. How much revenue do you want to make between now and the end of the year? And I say revenue because that's the driving force of your business. If you're not bringing money in, you don't have a business. Okay. So revenue, where do you want to be revenue wise at the end of the year? Now, for some of you guys, you've been in business a little bit longer. And so there's some additional things that you're going to be tracking inside of there. But I'm going to use the KISS method. We're just going to keep it simple. All right. Revenue, where do you want it to be by the end of the year? Okay. What is your average job worth to you? Some of you guys don't know what this number is. If you're doing remodeling, your average job might be 25,000. It might be 70,000. If you're doing landscaping, it might be 1,300. It might be 7,800. Painting, like it can be all across the board. So the number itself doesn't matter to anyone but you. But what is your average job worth? We're going to do a little math here. And I use my handy dandy computer here because I suck at math. So let's just say for 2024, you wanted to generate $1 million, right? That's a good solid target. So $1 million. And let's say your average job is $13,000. Okay. That means that in this year, you can see my screen, it says 76.9. You need to do 77 jobs at an average of $13,000 to hit your target. Does that make sense? Now, if you divide that by 12, that's 6.5 jobs a month. Why do we do that? Because $1 million is a big number and it's hard for us to wrap our heads around $1 million. But if I can wrap your head around doing 7 jobs a month, which is just about, let's just say 2 a week. I know it's a little less, but let's just say 2 a week for the sake of rounding. 2 jobs a week. Then every single week when you wake up in the morning, your focus is on how am I getting 2 jobs this week? That's it, 2 jobs. And if you're consistent through 52 weeks, you'll hit $1 million. If you're watching this, there's a little graphic on the screen right now that says less than 5% of contractors ever reach 7 figures. And it's not because they don't have the skill set to do it. It's that they don't have the game plan to do it. Huge difference, right? Again, clarity around your numbers is what matters most. So let's assume you set $1 million target in January. Well, now we're 3 months in. Every quarter, you should be doing what's called a look back and a look forward, or a quarterly review. You look back over what happened, take that data, the information, the numbers, not how you felt about it, the numbers, and then that helps you make decisions moving forward, right? So you can see I've written on this one because there's already adjustments I'm going to make to mine. But you can see here, some of the numbers and things that we track are number of sales. We've got revenue. We've got profit. We've got profit percentage. We've got number of jobs complete, right? We're tracking this information because it's determining the decisions that we're going to make into the future. If all things being equal, and I know weather and some other stuff, all things being equal, 1 million divided by 4 is 250,000. So you're looking at Q1 and saying, did I hit 250,000? If you did, awesome. Why did you hit it? What were the good things that happened so we can duplicate those good things? If you didn't, why not? Was it that your leads were low? Was it that you weren't closing enough jobs? Like, what was the real reason why? Again, if you can understand why, you can make adjustments so that you can actually hit your target. Most of you guys are sports fans. If you're not, bear with me. The New England Patriots. Everybody loves to hate them. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick. And I know they're not together anymore. In fact, they're both retired, which is kind of weird. But they were good for so many years. And they won, I think it was six different Super Bowls, right? But why were they so good? Was it because Tom Brady was the best athlete? That he had the strongest arm? That he had the best legs? No. Did he have the best supporting cast? No. What were Tom Brady and the New England Patriots really good at? Making adjustments. Understanding the game that was being played and what adjustments they needed to make. The most fourth quarter winning game-winning drives. Why? Adjustments, right? The most Super Bowls. Why? Adjustments. The most talented team? No. But why do they keep winning? Adjustments, right? Their ability to adjust and say, okay, who are we as a team? What do we need to change to get better? What do we need to do this week to win the game? I wear a wristband Some of you guys can see this. And on the wristband, it says win the daily war. And it's a reminder to me to every single week focus on what do I need to do today to win. Because if I can win today, I can win tomorrow, and I can win the next day, odds are I'm going to win the week. If I can win the week, I can win the month. If I can win the month, I can win the year. Again, where are you focusing? So the first thing that we're looking at is the numbers. Okay. Now, what's the second thing? Last week, if you were with us, I talked about the 5 most important areas of your business. The first one being leadership, right? Your role as the CEO, as the owner of the business. We talked about sales and marketing. We talked about operations. We talked about finance, and we talked about your people. Guess what you need to be reviewing at minimum on a quarterly basis? Every single one of those things. Again, things move quickly, so quickly now. And if you're not making adjustments, you're going to get left behind. One of the things that we started looking at was how many contractors get in cash flow issues. They get stuck. And I don't mean that they're not necessarily making enough money. It's that they don't understand their cash flow cycle, right? The money coming in versus the money going out. And I can tell you that there's probably more contractors than not that end up having to get some type of line of credit, some type of alternative financing to cover them because they don't understand their cash flow cycle. If you work in the commercial space, it is utterly important for you to understand your cash flow cycle. If you're working with homeowners, they're going to stroke you a check as soon as you're done with the job. You work with a big commercial builder or a developer, you're going to get paid 30, 60, sometimes even 90 days down the road. Are you set up in a way that you can handle 90 days between getting paid? Right? Again, understanding finance. When it comes to your sales and marketing, guess what? Lifeblood of every business. Are you spending the time to look at it and say, am I doing the activity that's going to lead to the results that we're after? There's a gutter company that I work with out of Boise, Idaho. Great company. Beginning of the year, they set the proverbial $1 million target, the 7-figure target. He was a little freaked out, right? I think at the time he was doing about 650. Not bad, but not what he wanted. And we laid that big target in front of him. Well, Q1, he smashed it, right? But he didn't smash it for the randomness of like, oh, hey, look, my business all of a sudden is doing better. No, it was the activity that was leading to the sales, right? By the way, here's a little cheat code. If you focus on the things that lead to sales instead of just focusing on the sales, you will sell more. If you focus on the activity that leads to sales versus the sales themselves, you will sell more. How do I know this? Oh, I don't know. I've seen it hundreds of times. Hundreds, right? I think over the last 2 years, we've helped over 3 dozen companies pass 7 figures. And it wasn't because of a complicated funnel. It wasn't because of a newly built website. It wasn't because they were dumping more money into pay-per-click or Facebook ads. It was literally simplifying the game. And here's how you simplify it. Who am I working with? That is the most important question that you can answer because it's going to determine the activity that you take. So if you're working with homeowners, you shouldn't be spending time on construction sites, period. Homeowners are not there. Conversely, if you want to work with the big builders, you're not going to be spending time talking to homeowners. Okay. So number 1, get clear on who you want to work with. Number 2, get clear on where it is that they're at. There's a shortcut to this game, right? It's 2024. There's a lot of people out there who have already done the heavy lifting for you. They've already gathered the group of people that you want to work with in one place. And now it's up to you to do something about that. Let's take homeowners, for example. Of all the people that you can think of, what group of people has already gathered homeowners in one place? We should have the Jeopardy music playing right now. One place, right? Where? Think about this. Odds are in the last 4 years, you've either bought or sold a home. Odds are, right? Who helped you buy or sell that home? Oh, I don't know. Probably a realtor. Do you think that realtors have access to homeowners? Do you think that realtors just help homeowners buy and sell homes? Perfect example. My office is in the same building as a realtor office, a brokerage. And they asked me to come speak to their group about contractors a couple weeks ago. So I go to their office or to their meeting. They have a weekly meeting, by the way. And I go to their weekly meeting and I'm sitting there in front of the room talking to them about contracts and how to make sure you find a good contractor. At the end of the conversation, the broker stands up and says, "This was amazing information. We didn't know any of this. Would you be willing to join our Slack group?" If you don't know what Slack is, it's just a communication channel. "Can you join our Slack group so that our realtors can reach out to you when they need a contractor?" I was like, yeah, sure. It works for me because I have a lot of local clients that I can refer business over to, right? People are hungry for good contractors. They don't know where to find good contractors. Yes, you can go to Facebook and do this. I get it. And a lot of you do. But you're going to be one of 100 who comments on, "I need a roofer. I need a landscaper. I need some concrete work done," right? What are the odds you're going to land those jobs? Or you can become the expert in a group or multiple groups, and then they only call you. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? You need to get really good at discovering where these groups are at. Okay. Who already has access to them? If I want to work with luxury home builders, I'm a sub and I want to work with luxury home builders, I'm going to figure out where the luxury home builders are at. In every single state in this great country, there is some type or version of a home builders association. They exist everywhere. Become part of the home builders association. Get to know, you guessed it, the home builders. Another area. Guess who designs homes? It's not home builders, it's architects. How many architects do you know? How many architects refer business out to you? Can you see what I'm saying, right? So again, sales and marketing, super important, right? The next area that we always examine, your operations. When I say operations, it's how you do the thing that you do. You sold a roof. You sold a paint job. You sold a backyard. You sold a new house. Whatever you sold. Well, now you got to get it done. But how is it that you're getting it done? Most of you are stuck in that cycle of, well, let me put the sales and marketing hat on. Oh, wait a minute. Let me take it off. Now I got to put the job supervisor hat on because it's got to be on the job site. Oh, wait, let me take that off. Now I need to go do some estimates. So I'm going to put that hat on. Oh, wait, no, now I got to go do some paperwork. And you're constantly changing hats. There's only one of you. You can't grow past you. So we got to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to make sure that you're where you need to be. Okay. Operations. How many different ways are there to frame a house, to lay sod, to paint a wall, to lay a roof, like whatever it is? There's a lot of different ways, but there's your way, the way that you want it done. And until you document that and you can teach people how to do it the same over and over and over again, you won't grow. You can't grow. There's one of you, right? That imagine if you could teach two people to do what you do by simply following the process. How much more could you get done? Right? Everything that you do in business needs to be duplicatable because when it's duplicatable, it's scalable. I talked a little bit about finance, so I'll touch on the last piece, people. A lot of you guys right now are struggling with hiring. Can't find the right guy. Can't find the right people. I can't. And so you just give up and say, well, I'll just do it myself. Put the bags back on and off you go. That's not the way you're going to deal with this problem, okay? People are people. By the way, if you don't know this, here's a little insight for you. Businesses don't have problems. Businesses have people and their problems. Whether it's you, your project manager, your general laborer, doesn't matter. We all come with baggage, right? And the better we get at dealing with our own and people's baggage, you guessed it, the better our business can be. So when it comes to understanding people, there's two pieces to this. There's the people and their alignment with you and your business. Okay. And then there's people and their ability to do what it is you're paying them to do. Two pieces. Okay. Now, 30,000 foot view of this thing. You need to have your core values defined. Who are we as a business? Because you don't want to be hiring somebody who doesn't have your core values. That's going to lead to problems on the job site. That's going to lead to problems beyond the job site, all kinds of issues, right? So who are we as a business? That's the first thing. The second thing is, what am I hiring you to do and how do I expect you to do it? So when we look at core values, this is part of your hiring process. Think about it this way. If you wouldn't be able to fire, or I should say, wouldn't be willing to fire somebody for your core values, then it's not a core value. Our core values are super simple. There's 4 of them. Number 1 is have fun. I love to have fun. I love to joke. I love to have a good time. Number 1 is have fun. Number 2, though, is do the work. We can have fun and do the work together, and I fully expect it. Okay. Number 3 is do what you said you're going to do. You can call it integrity. You can call it whatever. That's what we chose to call it. Do what you said you were going to do. My job is not to tell you what to do. My job is get you to do the thing that you committed to doing. And number 4 is go the extra mile. Whether it's picking up a piece of paper, whether it's holding the door open for an old lady, whatever it is, go the extra mile. If you can go the extra mile in your life, it shows up in every aspect. And people notice that. People pay attention, right? But those are our core values. And so when I look to hire people to work with me, that's what I'm looking for, right? You need to have those same things. Now, once you get past the initial, interview, if you will, and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to hire this person, give them a 90-day window. Max, by the way. Some of you guys can get this done in 2 weeks, but max 90-day window. If they haven't figured it out in 90 days, don't keep them. And what is it? Well, the it is, what do I expect you to do and how do I expect you to do it? When we train and when we teach contractors to set up their own training program, this is what we teach them to do. It's 3 phases, okay? Number 1, watch me do it. I don't care if you've got 20 years of painting experience. I'm going to show you how I want this wall painted, how we do things. Remember, I talked about that before, okay? He might pick it up in 2 hours. He might pick it up in 2 weeks. He might never pick it up. But if he can't watch you and understand how to get the job done, should you keep them? The answer is no. Move on. Find the next person. All right. So let's say they've shown that they understand how you want them to paint the wall. Phase 2 then is, okay, now do it with me. Let's work this thing together. I'm going to correct you if you need corrections, right? You can ask questions if you have questions, but let's work this thing together. Okay. Again, if all you're doing is redoing their work, there's your clue. And then phase 3, have them do it. Okay. Have them do it and you come back and check on them. If they can't make it through 3 phases, well, if they can't make it through the first or second, but ultimately the 3rd phase, you should not keep them around. It doesn't say Joe's babysitting service on the side of your truck. So why are you babysitting people? Again, hold them accountable to what you expect them to do. As long as people have clear roles and clear responsibilities and they understand what they're supposed to do, your job becomes very simple. Trust, but verify. I'm going to trust that you're going to do the thing that I'm paying you to do, but I'm going to verify it. On every job site, you should have a checklist. I don't care if you use subs or employees, you should have a checklist. And the checklist should be filled out every single time. If it's not, shame on you, because you haven't made that checklist important enough. What I tell my contractors to do is tie it to pay. You want to get paid, fill out the checklist. Oh, we finished the job. Cool. Where's the checklist? Oh, we didn't finish it. Guess you're not getting paid. Trust me, tie money to it. You get a lot more done, right? By the way, inside of Contractor Plus, there's a lot of cool things coming down the pipe, but job checklists are on the way in Contractor Plus. So you should be pretty excited about that. Again, your job is the success or failure of your business. If you're not spending the time looking back at what worked and what didn't work, how the hell do you expect to make decisions in the future that are going to positively impact your business? You're not. Okay. That was a little detailed. So I'm going to back up. Again, on a quarterly basis, you should be reviewing your numbers. On a quarterly basis, you should be reviewing your employees. On a quarterly basis, you should be reviewing if the activities that you're taking are helping you grow your business or are keeping you from growing your business. Okay, the review part. Then you start to look forward. Okay, again, $1 million example. Let's say we want to hit $1 million. Q1, we hit 250. Q2 is 250. What do I need to do this quarter to hit that 250? How many leads? How many estimates? How many sales? Do I have the manpower that can get that work done? Do I have somebody helping me with my books on the back end so that I'm not stuck doing the thing that I really don't enjoy doing? Okay. Now, if you guys are interested, you could send a message to Contractor Plus. We'll figure out how to send that message. But what I really want to offer you guys is something for free. And that is the opportunity for you guys. I'll share this workbook with you, right? This opportunity for you guys to start to track the things that matter most in your business. Right? We are here to help you succeed. We want you to be successful as a contractor. We want you to win, right? We want you to build the business that supports the lifestyle that you want. All right. That is it for today. If you're interested in a free workbook, send us a message on the platforms that you're watching. But we're going to start sending out some emails for you guys as well. With some really cool stuff. Again, all meant to help you grow your business. Remember, plus it's up to you. And now it's time for you to get after it. 3, 2, 1, off you go.
We started Contractor Plus to facilitate collaboration in a way that's never before been possible. We're not just giving contractors what they need to optimize their day-to-day. By focusing on the small businesses and the artisans, we are positioning ourselves to create a collaborative marketplace to help contractors increase labor productivity. We have a great team executing and very strong early indications of product market fit. Now is your chance to get involved. Our round is open until May 24th. May 24th, it's closing. Go to WeFunder, check out Contractor Plus. If you have any questions, let us know. We'd love to meet you.
Listen up, guys. All you need to do is download Contractor Plus. It's the best app I've ever used to manage my business.
Can I get your autograph? Thank you, man. You're awesome.
My work here is done.